Hello, my darling friends. Crystal, your dating coach. I spent 6 years with a narcissist and didn't know it. Had no idea until 20 years later. Well, he told me he was suffering from depression, and he's been taking antidepressants since he was 15. He was very sensitive. His parents divorced. He was from a wealthy family. The mother, he told me, was like Grace Kelly, just traveling on the world, buying clothes, never hugged him, never held him. His father, an important entrepreneur. He was an only child and never got much love from them, and that hurt him. And I have to admit that the 6 years we were together, neither his mother or father ever called him to say happy birthday. Sometime the mother would, maybe 2 days earlier or 2 days late. The father never. In fact, sometime I would tell him, call your father up, tell him it's your birthday. Make him feel a bit guilty. He was raised by the nanny. He loved the nanny even more than his mother. So the things that he did in this relationship, I made excuses for them because he was wonderful to me. He was nice and sweet, loving, generous. We were best friends. We talked about everything for the first 2 or 3 years. Then little by little, his attitude changed. But I always made excuses because this poor guy suffered childhood. He suffered even now. 2 parents who aren't caring or loving. But this is a mistake that you must not make. You must not make excuses for someone who's making you suffer. So their suffering, you can be understanding, but if they're making you suffer, you have to end that relationship. You have to leave. You have to get out. You cannot be their psychologist. You cannot let them use you as a therapeutic way of feeling good if you're feeling horrible. So here are 5 things to watch out for to understand if your partner is narcissistic. First one is they will never say they're sorry. Nothing they do is their fault. Whether they hurt you, they made you feel bad, an event, it's never their fault. I remember we were going out to a restaurant, and I'm like, it's Saturday night, it's better if you make reservations. It's like, no, it's not important, even though it's Saturday night, this is an exclusive restaurant, it's not going to be crowded. We arrived at the restaurant. It was crowded. There were no tables. But it was my fault. Why didn't you force me to make reservations? Yeah, I don't like making reservations. You should have told me to make reservations. I'm like, but I told you should make reservations. Yeah, but I didn't think it was going to be full, but you know better. You should have forced me. It was my fault. Anything that happened was my fault. I would call him up and say, it's 8 o'clock. You haven't arrived yet. We told me you're going to be here at 7:30. Okay, I'm on my way. He arrived. He didn't have his phone. Left it at home. My fault. You see, you made me rush and come to you, and I left my phone. You see? Anyway, anything that happens to them, my darlings, is your fault. They will never blame themselves. They will blame you. And then they will never say they're sorry if they actually did something that was wrong. So that's how you can tell a narcissist. Number 1, they will never say they're sorry. They can come into your home, walk into a lamp, drop it, it breaks in a million pieces, but it's your fault because you shouldn't have placed that lamp in that position. If it wasn't in that position, they wouldn't have knocked it down. Number 2, they will blame you for everything. Whether it's your fault or not, something they did that went wrong, but it's your fault. They will blame you. Number 3, they will never praise you. So in the beginning, all he did was praise me. Oh, you look great, Crystal. Oh, I like the way your hair is. Oh, that's a nice dress you got on. And he would actually even buy me beautiful bags, clothes. earrings and, oh, look how wonderful you look in these earrings that I got you in the beginning. But when they get you under their womb, they get all your attention, you fall in love with them, they know you care about them, then they let it all out. Then the narcissist lets it all out. And no more praising. They want praise. Every little thing that he did, he wanted praise. Any little thing. Oh, yeah, that's great. Oh, good for you. Oh, that's so smart of you. Wow. And I would say, oh, so I came here as a model in Milan, but then I started singing. So I remember telling him, oh, the song I did backup work on, the producer likes me. He wants to make a CD. So I'm going to make my own CD. Oh, yeah, that's nice. Good. That's all I got. But when he did something or met someone, oh, Crystal, who came to the office today? Mr. Fabiano, the owner of that famous wine company. I'm like, oh, really? Yeah, he came and, he praised me about how well, organized my garage is, And he went on and on and on and wanted me to go on and on and on how wonderful it was that he came, and praised him. So watch out for these 3 things, my darlings. Everything you do that happens to him, you notice you're getting blamed. You notice that he does things that probably hurt you, makes mistakes, never is saying he's sorry. Wanting you to praise and admire him, but you're never being praised and you're never admired. No matter what you say, you can say you met the President of the United States and they will say, oh, really? They can say they met the secretary of the cousin of the President of the United States. I'm like, you have to go, wow, really? Be careful for these things. Number 4, my darlings, they're never listening to you. You'll be talking to them and they'll never look into your eyes. Or while you're talking, they're like, oh, yeah, oh, really? You don't get their full attention, never. And while you're talking, maybe you're telling them something important, I have to do this and I got to make sure I'm going to do this. And you see them looking at you. And what they're doing is thinking about what they want to talk about. So maybe I'm talking about something and then I'll pause. Oh, you know what, Crystal? So yesterday I bumped into my old friend from school. I hadn't seen him a couple of years. Oh, it was so great. And like, oh, that's wonderful. But did you hear what I'm telling you? I was talking about how I'm, meeting with the producer and we're going to make a record. Yeah, I understood. Yeah, okay. So you never get their attention. Nothing you say is important. They're never listening to you. And while you are talking, they're thinking about what they want to say, what happened in their life, what they want to talk about. So it's all about me. It's all about them, never about you. Never. Number 5, last but not least, and this is really the worst part, why you cannot accept to stay in a relationship with a narcissistic person and think that you can help them by being understanding, being more loving. Nothing will help them. Nothing. They are this way, and unfortunately, unless they go through therapy, they will not change. But even going through therapy, it's difficult. But you are not their therapist, their psychologist. You do not have to absorb all this tension, stress, and pain from this person, from these persons, from your partner who is narcissistic. You must end it. You must leave them. You must begin your life, because if not, you're going to have a nervous breakdown. Your happiness comes first, not theirs. Although you think their happiness comes first. When you're with a narcissistic person, you start thinking, maybe I should be nicer to them because I see them miserable. So you're thinking their happiness comes before yours, but it doesn't. So number 5 is they enjoy seeing you miserable, suffering, uneasy. They enjoy it because they're insecure. They're miserable. They're unhappy. So if you are happy, that makes them uncomfortable. They can't deal with that. You're happy. So if you're excited about something, they can't deal with that because they never get excited about anything. So you will notice that you say things that you're excited about and they're not going to share the enthusiasm. You're going to say something that you really like to do and they're not going to be interested. You're going to tell them about something that you enjoy and then you're not going to get any reaction. Actually, they're going to do everything in their power to make you miserable, to make you suffer, to make you uneasy. Whatever you say with enthusiasm, that you're enthusiastic about, they're going to say something that's going to make you miserable. I'm going to get together next Sunday with my friends. We're going to have brunch. A couple of girls I haven't even seen, since high school are going to come. I can't wait to meet them. People you haven't seen in a long time. You don't know how they are. They probably change. They're probably not the same people. You're not going to have a good time. That's the reaction you're going to get from the narcissist. You're enthusiastic, and they're going to break it down because that's the only way they feel good, when you feel bad. So, my darlings, I've given you 5 red flags, 5 ways to understand that you are with someone who is narcissistic. Don't deal with it. Don't be understanding. Don't be like you have to fix them. You have to do this and they'll change. No. Hopefully they will change. But you do not stay there trying to make them change. You get your life back, your happiness back. Go out in the world and find someone who will love you, who wants your happiness, who doesn't blame everything in their life on you, who is able to say, I'm sorry when they do something wrong, because that is the narcissist is unable to do. Ciao for now, my darling friends. I hope that you will understand or realize that maybe your partner is narcissist and you didn't understand why they were acting this way. This is the reason. It's a toxic relationship that you don't have to deal with. So don't. Share with your friends who you think are going through this. Give me a thumbs up. And thank you if you have subscribed. I really appreciate it. Ciao for now.